Lebanese authorities are saying that at least 182 people have been killed and more than 700 wounded in Israeli airstrikes today. Israel says it is broadening its strikes against Hezbollah as citizens in southern Lebanon have received phone messages warning them to leave certain places that are used by Hezbollah, the Iran-backed group Hezbollah. Lebanon's Prime Minister says Israel's actions amount to, in his words, a war of extermination. Israel's Defence Minister, for its part, says strikes will continue until we achieve our goals to return the residents of the north of Israel safely to their homes. There's been a big displacement of people in the north of Israel, which has gone underreported since October the 7th because of what's been going on in Gaza and in Israel with the hostages. But that is Israel's stated reason for this campaign, a campaign against Hezbollah rather than the people of Lebanon. Let's talk to Baraa Shiban about this, RUSI's Associate Fellow for Middle East Security. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheila, for having me.
How do you put this into the wider context of Israel and Lebanon, Israel and Hezbollah, before October the 7th?
Well, as you rightfully mentioned, if this wasn't for the conflict in Gaza, this would be very significant throughout the last year. But Israel and Hezbollah had been exchanging those kind of, you'd say, missiles and strikes. If you would put it like on a chessboard, it would be like everyone is moving one chessboard at a time. Except in the last week, what I felt is that Israel decided to move 3 steps ahead and do a significant blow to Hezbollah's communication capabilities, but also do a major blow to Hezbollah's reputation as the strongest and most effective, you would say, militant group affiliated with Iran in the region that have shaken the trust and confidence of even Hezbollah supporters inside Lebanon. And if I put it mildly, this kind of humiliated Hezbollah, so they felt they had to respond. And now we are hearing from the Israeli defense minister saying we're entering a new phase of the conflict, which means whatever deal was on the table for the ceasefire in Gaza looks like it is being tossed away, at least for the time being, because it gets more complicated when you add more actors into this conflict.
Can you explain why Israel-Hezbollah necessarily derails peace talks about Israel-Hamas?
So if you want to see how Israelis view this, they view this as this is part of Iran's kind of proxy war against them. And they are no longer just waiting to deal with one proxy at a time. So before, the idea was just get a deal between Hamas and
So they would include Hamas as an Iranian proxy, would they?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. So with now Hezbollah on the table, now you're just adding a new actor, and then you need now to negotiate with Hezbollah. And the terms that you have to put for Lebanon is very, very different. The Israeli defense minister have said repeatedly throughout the last couple of weeks, they want to see Hezbollah fighters and its military capability moved north of the Litani River. And if anyone knows about the geography of Lebanon, that's kind of you trying to push Hezbollah away from their own, their kind of support terrain. That's where they've built the tunnels that they've showcased. That's where they've entrenched their capabilities. And for Hezbollah, they are waiting for Israel to kind of do their attack and then do the fight inside Lebanon. That's why they've built all of those tunnels, and kind of everyone is ready, but it looked like no one is willing to cross the kind of the red line until last week.
And the tunnel thing sounds all too familiar.
Yes, of course, because Hezbollah, despite of its capabilities, it's still no match for Israel on an urban warfare. It doesn't have definitely the similar capabilities in terms of tanks, jet fighters, and so on. So they tend to use the tunnel network to
ambush, kind of asymmetric warfare, guerrilla kind of warfare. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So far, airstrikes and, of course, those strikes last week using technology.
Yes.
Is it looking to you like, the big move is about to be made, which is the land invasion?
It looks like if we were ever close to a more regional war, or if you'd like to say, at least for the time being, a war inside Lebanon, we are at that time. And definitely the policy of containment that President Biden tried to do, and he announced a couple of times, the last was 2 weeks ago, that there is a deal on the table. It looks like that's getting out of control. And definitely Western leaders, I think they're losing their grip on their ability to contain this from spreading even further into the region.
Thank you for joining me. Good to talk to you. Baraa Shiban, RUSI's Associate Fellow for Middle East Security, RUSI, standing for the Royal United Services Institute. Thank you to him.